The 44th edition of the Ryder Cup tees off on Friday in Rome. USA are the defending champions, but they have not won in Europe for the last 30 years. Will they change that record, or will Team Europe regain the title? That's what we are going to discuss in this live. Hello and welcome to WION World of Sport Extra. I am Nikhil Mathur and I'm joined by my sports editor Digvijay Singh Deo and by my colleague Vidur Kathuria. USA have not won in Europe in last 30 years.
First, before you ask me, I think we should say we are WION World of Sport. That's why we're doing this.
Yeah.
It's not just, we're not just only talking about Indian cricket. That's the discussion we had this morning. Should we go Indian cricket? We said, no, it's the Ryder Cup. It's the greatest show in golf, the greatest team competition in golf. I wouldn't call the majors the greatest show because it's a very serious sort of competition. But there's nothing like this in golf.
Yeah.
Sort of 12 superstars on one side, all brought together or united by just the American flag. Correct?
Yeah.
Now there's a divide there with LIV. But on the other side, there's nothing in common. It's Europe. Players coming from where? Denmark, Norway, the British Isles, everywhere. Spain, that's the beauty.
Yeah, a team event in golf. Usually we see individuals competing, but this is essentially a team sport. So I think USA have not won in Europe in last 30 years, but I was seeing the record, but they have dominated Europe in the recent time. Do you think Team Europe are underdog in this, or do you
Massive underdogs. See, 2 years is a long time in sport, but I was watching a lot of the Ryder Cup last time in the US on TV, just watching the way that was the youngest American team of all time, and it just thrashed Europe 19-9, and everyone kept saying that the European team is in transition. The European team has a lot of oldies there. You're talking of Westwood, Poulter, Garcia, sort of all 40 and above, right? I mean, Westy was sort of pushing 50. But what's evened it up was LIV Golf. I think LIV Golf has cost the Americans at least 3 players. Yeah. Brooks Koepka made it, but there's no Patrick Reed, who's sort of, for all the kind of negative headlines that he generates, he is Captain America. He sort of gets pumped up, okay? There's no Dustin Johnson. And Dustin Johnson walks into any team. DJ is the most consistent player out there.
Yeah.
Along with Scotty Scheffler now, but DJ has been consistent. DJ went 5-0 last time. He won everything.
Yeah.
There's no Bryson DeChambeau, the form that he's in.
Yeah, that was...
The form that he's in, he's not there.
Yeah.
Taylor Gooch, the way he played this year, if the LIV guys were allowed, probably he'd been in contention. He won 3 times against that field. And I think over there, sort of that the European team sort of transition was hastened by LIV. So they had no options. Okay, you have a very strong core now in Fitzpatrick, in Rory, John Rahm, Hovland, Tyrrell Hatton, and then you have one very big veteran in 2 veterans in terms of Justin Rose and Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
And then you have these exciting youngsters.
Yeah.
So on paper, 12 Americans, the lowest ranked player is 25. That's Ricky Fowler. In fact, Justin Thomas has come up the rankings after having a shocker of the year. On this side, the lowest ranked player is Ludwig Aberg, who's 90, who has not played a major. So the unknowns are more on Team Europe side.
Yeah.
So for Europe to win this, I think that gap has narrowed. But it's still the Americans. Remember, 19-9 is a gap which is massive. You can close that gap maybe 16-12 or whatever, but it's still a gap.
Yeah.
So Europe, big underdogs. What works for them in their favor is the hostile environment that will be created for Team USA.
Of course, crowd will play a big part in that. What do you think, Vidur?
I think that's what, people who don't follow golf very closely, they're also excited and look forward to
No, that's a good point, Vidur, because I remember, not big a golf fan, but my first Ryder Cup that got me hooked was the Miracle of Medina, 2012. And I knew nothing of golf at that point. But that sort of excited me. There was something about the Ryder Cup.
So, that's what. Basically, because, golf and even tennis for that matter, when we have, say, the Laver Cup or the Ryder Cup, there's
Davis
something
Cup.
different.
Davis Cup.
There's
Yeah.
something different because these individual sports, when you have the best players in the world competing for something more than just themselves.
And there's no money. There's no money on offer here. Yeah.
And that's what you love to see. I remember, I think it was Rory last time who said that this is something that you crave. You look forward to just as a player, because the majors you play for yourselves and you play for prize money, and of course it's the pinnacle of golf, say the majors. But Ryder Cup, you're playing for your respective teams. Everyone gets together. It's a team format. It becomes more of a spectacle, and that gets the fans involved as well. So I'm just looking forward to see just 3 days of top golf, and Ryder Cup always seems to throw up, some
And also
memorable moments.
Yes, but it's not just about the golf. It's the atmosphere.
Yeah.
It's the occasion.
Yeah.
So I remember the heckling the Europeans got. So imagine this. You are the best player in the world. But why does Tiger Woods have an awful record at the Ryder Cup?
Yeah.
And someone like Ian Poulter, who's never won a major, he's got a better record than Tiger. It's the occasion. You're walking on a fairway. On a normal day, you're walking a golf tournament, you're walking down the fairway, you're approaching a green, polite applause.
Yeah.
Well played, Rory. Come on, Scotty. But here it's hostile. The crowd is literally baying for your blood. It's a test of mental, when you call it mental toughness. The Ryder Cup unleashes that tribal nature of sport.
It's like a football derby.
Which you don't see. And it unnerves these players. Yeah. That's why handling the occasion is a big factor. And perhaps that's why, despite everyone saying that USA are going to win, Zach Johnson said in his press conference, I think day before yesterday, we're not favourites. We're going to face a hostile crowd. Yeah. No way Europe are not starting favourites. Maybe that's his way of shielding his team. But on paper, as I said, top 25, the 12 Americans.
Yeah. But even Europe has McIlroy, John Rahm, and they certainly got some words from a clutch player, Novak Djokovic.
What a move, huh?
Yeah.
What a move. In fact, I think Alex Ferguson, Pep Guardiola have come in the past and spoken. But Djokovic brings winning mentality.
Yeah.
But interesting, Djokovic not making it for the Laver Cup for Team Europe. They needed his words of motivation more. What was it? 13-2? You were hammered by Team World?
He wants a break.
He wants a break.
He's due a break.
But I just thought that it's a great move from Luke Donald, who himself is captain, not a captain who was appointed. It was Henrik Stenson.
Yeah.
Henrik Stenson lost the Ryder Cup captaincy because he went and joined Live Golf.
Yeah.
So a lot expected of Luke Donald. The captains are under immense pressure because 6 players automatically qualify. The other 6 are captain's picks.
Yeah.
And it's one of our questions. He hasn't picked Adrian Meronk. Adrian Meronk did very well on the European circuit. Missed out on automatic qualification, yes. But he also won the Italian Open on this very course a few months ago. And so the captains face pressure as well.
Of course. And I think he picked Ludwig Aberg from Sweden.
Yes, and that's a big unknown. It's like, can I say it's like picking Theo Walcott from the 2006 World Cup?
The youngest.
But he didn't play him. At least Aberg is playing a minimum of 1 match because he has to play the singles.
But he's very highly regarded on tour. Very young.
But Luke Donald said a very interesting story. He said, we've been tracking him for a while. Then I went and played with him in some tournament and I liked what I saw.
Yeah.
Then I told him, come and play in Europe. Ludwig Aberg goes to Europe and wins a European title. That makes it so easy for Luke Donald to pick him. Yeah. They're saying he's a once-in-a-generation talent. Yeah. They're saying he's on the likes of Rory and Rahm, if not better.
Yeah, that's going to be interesting. But who is going to be...
I just feel it's too early for him. I just think the Ryder Cup... Okay, he may just go and embrace it and become the superstar. It's Europe. Thankfully, it's Europe. It's not the USA where he's probably going to have the crowd being against him. I just think it's too early. But it could be a massive left field thing which he hits it out of the park. He could be the new Sergio Garcia for Team Europe.
As we discussed during Team India's Cricket World Cup selection, he could be the
X Factor.
But I wanted to ask you about Team USA, as you just mentioned, that they would you say Zach Johnson has played it safe by picking
Old Boys Club?
Yeah.
Old Boys Club. I think there's no way Justin Thomas deserved it. I was very disappointed to hear Zach Johnson say, JT is on the team. You're in the team for what you've done in the Ryder Cup in the past. You're not in the team because for the last 1 year you haven't played your best.
Yeah.
You don't deserve to be. He didn't make the playoffs. He had more missed cuts than top 10s last season. And this is JT, one of the best players in the world.
Yeah.
See, everyone goes through a bad patch. But it's cost someone like a Keegan Bradley his spot on the team. And you know what Keegan Bradley said? Keegan Bradley won twice this season, last season. And he said, perhaps I need to work hard on getting to know the so-called Ryder Cup team better. There's no, on any other day, he would never have picked Wyndham Clark. He would never have picked Brian Harman because who knew them? But they won 2 majors.
Yeah, 2 majors.
There's no way he couldn't have picked Brooks Koepka. That would have led to a backlash. Brooks Koepka is a controversial pick. Live Golf.
Is the only Live Golf player in both teams?
Yes, that's because for the Europeans, you have to be a member of the European Tour. They've all resigned.
Poulter and Garcia resigned,
Here, the problem is that Brooks Koepka is still a member of the PGA of America. He's banned by the PGA Tour. But the PGA of America is still a member, and he earned points only in 2 tournaments. The Masters, where he came second, and he won the US PGA. How can you leave a major winner at home? Which is what I feel a mistake he's made with DeChambeau. I think DeChambeau's playing fantastic.
And he won again another tournament.
He's won 2 in 2 months.
But I think...
And of course, DJ, who had, as you said, had a 5-0 record in the previous Ryder Cup. So big calls. I mean, he will obviously be judged by his call. The calls.
But what you said, it's I just think that it's a cozy club. But you look at it from the American perspective. They were not winning the Ryder Cups for a while. There was a huge amount of backlash. I remember 2014, Mickelson's famous sort of attack on Tom Watson, who was captain. Then they sort of got together. They formed this Ryder Cup committee, more inputs from the players. And clearly, Zach Johnson has decided to continue with that. He's saying, this is a team which won 19-9, which obliterated Europe last time. Okay, I've lost, say, DJ, I've lost Reed, I've lost Bryson. Fine, then I have rookies in my team. I mean, the rookies here are who? Wyndham Clark's a rookie. Brian Harman's a rookie. Homa's a rookie. Right? There's one more rookie in there. Maybe I think Burns. There's 4 or 5 rookies in there. That's why he's gone for Justin Thomas. But I just felt for Keegan Bradley. I felt for Adrian Meronco.
We have our polls also live. Who do you think will be the game changer, whether Team Europe and Team USA? You can go and vote on our Twitter and Facebook as well as YouTube pages. We'll take all your comments and of course we'll give you the result of the poll. Vidur, who's your pick?
I think I'm really looking.
Okay, Manzi Malunga says, I'm watching from Cape Town, South Africa. Thank you, Manzi. Gil Oropel saying she's watching from the Philippines. I can't get that. Thank you so much. Jamir Hussain says hello. Hi. Hi, Jamir. Yeah, sorry, Vidur. Go ahead.
I'm really looking forward to seeing Ludwig Eberg play. Because he turned professional, I think, only a few months back. And
9 tournaments is all he's played.
So,
but it's asking a lot, isn't it? It's also like saying...
I wouldn't say he... Of course, I'm just
he's the
hoping...
X factor, but not the game changer. Who do you think would be...
Is he Harry Brook? Or is he Sachin Tendulkar?
Well, game changers, obviously, we're talking about major winners here. Rory McIlroy, John Ram, Victor Hovland, these are the guys.
Let's look at all these polls, Vidur, and we can talk about it.
Of course.
I think let's start with... Can Europe regain? We'll come back to it at the end. Who's going to be Europe's key player? Rory, John Ram, Victor Hovland.
I think Ram. I'd go for Ram.
I think I'll go for Rory McIlroy because the simple reason it's a team tournament and the way he led PGA Tours his fight, which didn't end well. But I think Rory McIlroy is going to be the key with the passion that he brings and the fighting spirit that he brings. It's a tournament which happens across Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So I think Rory McIlroy for me would be the game changer for Team Europe.
I'll actually agree with Vidur. That's my vote. My vote is to John Ram. Simply because all 3 are in great form. That's world number 2, 3 and 4. World number 1 is Scotty Scheffler. Actually, Hovland's the man in form. But he played the last Ryder Cup. I don't think it's his ability yet to lead this team. Rory is the de facto leader, without a doubt. But I think that Rory has not been able to like Poulter or Garcia, they had that passion, they should deliver the points.
Yeah.
I remember Rory being so upset after the last Ryder Cup that he was this big superstar. I think
Yeah.
he was world #1 there. And they got pasted. He didn't have a great record. I think Ram's solidity makes him Europe's go-to man. I think Ram has learned to separate the passion
Yeah.
from the skills he brings on to the golf course.
That's a good point. Actually, Rory McIlroy, out of all these players, he is the most sort of excited and looking forward to playing for a team, but he hasn't been able to deliver. I think John Ram is more calm,
cool and composed.
collected.
Yeah.
And you know, Rory's mentality towards this team event, I can equate to Andy Murray's.
Yeah.
Andy Murray also has that
A
kind
bit
of mentality.
mercurial, yeah.
You know, Andy Murray also wants to
No, but
play
Rory is
well,
also, Vidur has
yeah.
embraced the Ryder Cup of late.
Yeah.
He wasn't always the biggest fan of the Ryder Cup. He was chasing individual glory. But what, 7th Ryder Cup for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, he is the leader in terms of the stature, the most
Yeah,
number of
Four-time
things
winner,
out there.
yeah.
But I just think Ram is going to be crucial. In fact, even last time when Europe were getting pasted, it was Ram and Sergio Garcia who sort of they won 3 games. 3 of those, either 4 balls or 4 sums, yeah. Okay, let's look at something else.
But what does the audience think? What does the viewers say?
Getting there. 50, as things stand, 56% saying John Ram, 33% saying Victor Hovland.
Yeah, he has been
Only
consistent.
11 saying Rory. Okay.
Man in form, Victor Hovland.
Yeah.
Yep. This one's easy one. Will home advantage favor Team Europe?
Of course, there's no denying.
Yeah,
In
yeah,
Rome,
absolutely. When in Rome.
The Gladiators,
Yes.
they're the
Colosseum.
the Colosseum, Marco Simone. Yes, 67%, no 33%. Okay, next one. Can USA end the European drought? Let's explain this. Europe, despite having the likes of Mickelson, Tiger, have not won in Europe since 1993. So no, Tiger and Mickelson probably have not won in Europe, a Ryder Cup in Europe. I remember the hammering they got last time at Le Golf National in Paris, outside of Paris, near Versailles. 67% saying yes, 33% saying no. But these 67% clearly the ones who believe that this American team on paper can win. On paper, the
On
overwhelming
paper,
favorites.
they are favorites, of course.
Yeah. Okay, this one's interesting. Who's going to be USA's key player? First, you guys. Scotty, Brooks Koepka, Justin Thomas.
Brooks. I will go for Brooks. The season he's had, he has something to prove, by the way.
Of course.
Not his pedigree, of course, but you know, just playing for the Ryder Cup as a live player, I think he will step up to the occasion.
Yeah, I agree with Vidur. You know, the live golf flag, I think Brooks Koepka, I think that would be the headline if he does well. Brooks Koepka, the only live golf guy doing well.
You know, the thing with Brooks is he's not the most popular man around. Single-minded devotion only to one thing, and that is winning. He was asked, do you think the other live guys should have been here? He said, I only one answer to them, play better. And he played better in the only 4 tournaments that he got. That's why he's there.
Yeah.
I'm not sure there would be many people like Bryson DeChambeau very happy with what he said.
Exactly. I was getting it. The last time, you know, Bryson DeChambeau and Brooks Koepka had that feud.
Heading into the Ryder
Heading
Cup
into
and then
the-
sort of that very famous at the end hug, a staged hug. But I just think that I was reading one of his comments. He said, everyone who says I can win a major, everyone who says I can win a Ryder Cup, I'm standing 10 feet away from the hole, I have a putt to make, I have to drop that ball or else the tie is over for my team, or I lose an opportunity to win a major. He said, most people will say they'll do it, but it boils down to very few who actually have that mental fortitude and believe I can sink it. Tiger's mentality was very similar to what Brooks has. Koepka is perhaps the only one who believes every time he enters a major, I can win. That's why we call him that major monster. Yeah.
And he went through a bad patch as well when he joined Live Golf. He
said if I knew that I'll recover, I wouldn't have joined Live.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He didn't win a major for what, 4 years?
Not major, he didn't win anything. He had that knee injury and then some problem. Okay, this is what the poll says. 27% saying Scotty Scheffler. 36%, it's a tie. 36 saying Brooks. 36% saying Justin Thomas.
Justin Thomas also has regained some kind of form in the last tournament that he played, but still. And
okay, we got some questions, I think, no? Yeah. C4 Strike Eagle says, Team Europe's got a strong lineup this year. They can definitely make a comeback. Okay. On that, who are Europe going to miss the most? Sergio, Adrian Meronk, or the home man, Francesco Molinari, who's actually around as a vice captain?
As a captain, yeah.
Yeah.
Vice captain. I think just having.
Let's explain this.
Yeah.
I think Molinari won like DJ. Molinari won everything in 2018.
Yeah.
And I think he sort of just won the British Open as well. He was the Open champion.
Yeah.
And he and Fleetwood won everything.
I think
they were called Mollywood.
Yeah, Mollywood.
Mollywood, yeah. And that famous gag of both of them sleeping together with the Ryder Cup together, right? Sergio Garcia is nobody's won more Ryder Cup points than Sergio Garcia.
yeah, he's the OG in the Ryder Cup.
He's the OG, 28. Adrian Meronk is actually the man who's in form.
Because it's in Italy and as there's no Italian.
One second. Fatima saying, I'm rooting for Team Europe. Thank you, Fatima.
Yeah, I think because it's in Italy and the fact just having like a home player playing on the Team Europe line would have made a difference. As a spectacle, it would have been made it even better. So I think Team Europe will miss Francesco Molinari. And obviously because of his Ryder Cup experience.
Yeah. I think
Yeah, you?
Sergio Garcia, because I was just seeing his stats and the other guy's stats. I think that's just out of this world. And even Poulter, as you mentioned,
No, these players sort of
they live for Ryder.
They live for the Ryder Cup.
Yeah.
It brings the best out of them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Our fans out there, 57% saying Sergio, only 14 going with Adrian Meronk, and 29% with Francesco Molinari.
I wanted to ask you a question, Digvijay. Do you think like this team sort of spirit is more prevalent in Europe, say in the USA? I mean, because these players.
You're right.
Look
In Europe, it's more easier to bond.
Yeah, camaraderie.
It's always happened.
Yeah.
Perhaps it's also because for those who play out on the PGA Tour, they bond together. And that is what the Americans were trying to capture. And I think they got it finally at Whistling Straight. Sort of the old generation, even 2018 Golf National, Tiger was there, Mickelson was there, both over 45, DJ was there. I just think that there was what they found last time, that core of young core, Morikawa, Spieth, Thomas, DeChambeau, Brooks, they literally hammered the hell out of Europe. And I'm being polite.
Yeah.
You can sort of figure it out.
And we hope that, the Solheim Cup, which is
that's
the
a
women's
perfect
equivalent of Ryder Cup, I think it was a tie and then Europe won it. If this is a tie, then I think Team USA will retain the title. But what a close tournament that was. And we hope the Ryder Cup is not a lopsided one.
Yeah. We want to see a proper contest between some of the best players in the world.
Yeah. Playing for a cause.
Yeah.
No money, playing for a cause. Okay, anything else left? Who's going to be...
I think the final question.
The final question, yes.
Will Europe regain the Ryder Cup?
Can Europe regain the Ryder Cup? Yes, boys.
When you look at Champions League ties in football, you tend to if there are two strong teams, you tend to favor the home team. Yeah. So I say Team Europe will regain the Ryder Cup.
Mathur?
Difficult to make, but I think I will also go with Team Europe. Home crowd, and they have the team looks very, they have experience, they have X factors. I think as a team they look better. Well-rounded team.
Okay. I'm conflicted. See, I agree with the home factor. That's going to be a big if. But that home factor can only reduce the gap as to so much.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this team. Scotty Scheffler, Wyndham Clark, Brian Harman, major winners this year.
Yeah.
Patrick Cantley, so always consistent. Paddy Ice is what they call him. Homa, I think won 3 times this season. Schauffele, okay? Schauffele, the Olympic champion, but again, coming through an automatic pick. He didn't need a captain's pick. He qualified on his own merit. And remember, he's played well at the majors this year.
Yeah.
Burns, Koepka, even though they are captain's picks, Morikawa, Spieth, these are all Ryder Cup sort of, that passion. I think the only, and even Fowler has sort of come back after having a very bad couple of seasons. I think Thomas is the only weakling for me here in the Americans. But when I look over here, Aberg, Højgaard, Straka, even Shane Lowry.
More unknowns.
No. I mean, the only weak link here is for me is Thomas. Even Justin Rose is playing after a while. Okay? I know that McIlroy is going to do well, Rahm will do well, Hovland, Hatton. Okay, McIntyre again, rookie. Rob McIntyre of Scotland. Just too many unknowns over here. So the gap has come down. But 19-9, I don't see Europe winning 14.5. I just don't see Europe winning 14.5. It could be a tie.
Yeah.
But when you look at 19, and they won 9 matches and they won 19, where's that gap coming down?
Yeah.
Where? That's my thing. The crowd, everything, home factor brings it down for Europe, brings them into the game. But I still think
USA
the Americans,
have the edge.
should win this, not edge it. They should win this.
On paper,
they should win this.
Yeah.
And listen, 25. World number 25 is Fowler. He's the lowest ranked member. In 12, he's 25. Come on. They can't. If they don't lose this, they've blown it.
Yeah, they've blown it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ryder Cup starts tomorrow. By this time, you will have at least 3 hours of action. The first 4 balls probably coming to an end. Spot Juice says Poulter will be missed. He thinks Poulter will be missed.
Yeah, of course. So what does the poll say? Final poll.
Final poll says Europe can win. I'll give you the
back
exact figure. Give me a second.
I think the documentary also on Netflix, like I watched it and I understood golf better. The likes of Ian Poulter, Anne Brooks, Koepka. Why did they went to live golf?
Can Europe regain the Ryder Cup? 54-46. Very close. Very close.
I hope the matches are also as close as the poll. So yeah, I think we have covered everything with golf. What's there on our show at 6:30 p.m. India?
Pakistan and India.
Yes.
After how many years? 7?
7 years.
Yes. And
relishing on Hyderabadi biryani.
Are they?
And
Yeah, reportedly that's the report.
I want to have biryani now.
but not much time to rest for them.
Yeah.
They landed.
You need to digest that biryani, please.
So they are in the nets, and of course tomorrow they face New
Zealand in a
the
warm-up.
warm-up match. So not much time for them to get in tune for the World Cup. Football action, plenty of football action.
Manchester City
Knocked out again.
in the year.
The quadruple dream is already over.
That are the
And
standards for
Liverpool have a new Gerrard. That
Yes.
second goal was something.
Soboslai, he has really impressed since.
You know what that goal reminded me of? Technically very different, but Benjamin Pavard. You know why? When you smash it, you smash it. But this one, the ball was going up.
Yeah.
Remember Pavard's goal
Yeah.
at 2018 final?
Yeah. Who
Balancing
can
and
forget
bang.
that?
Yeah. So Liverpool won. Arsenal also edged through to the
Chelsea
Cup.
also won.
Yes, Chelsea.
And they defeated
I
Brighton.
think- Yes, Brighton.
Jibril Dabo has come in. Jibril Dabo saying Koepka has got that never back down attitude that can lead his team to victory. Yes, he has, and perhaps that's why the Europeans have a joker in the pack. They also got someone who's never going to back down. His name is Novak Djokovic.
So what else, Nikhil?
And there's infighting in the Bangladesh
Whoa.
cricket team. Tamim Iqbal versus Shakib Al Hasan, 2 of the greatest players that country has produced. Iqbal, of course, is not part of the squad because with an injury. But he said that
Controversially left out.
he said that I told the management that do not take me if you. So basically, he claims that he was told that you shouldn't open in the first match or sit out. Iqbal said that I have opened throughout my career. Why would I do that? So he said that please don't include me. And that
Tamim is saying you have to be a team person to be part of the team.
Shakib Al Hasan exactly.
Yeah,
Saying that.
Shakib, yeah.
So that is there. And no Lionel Messi, no win for Inter Miami. They lost the US Open Cup final.
Normal service resumes. Right?
Yeah.
Inter without Messi, not winning.
Not winning.
One man, but that shows the impact of the great man.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
Okay, that and more, 6:30 p.m. India.